All right, hello everyone. Jeremy here. Haven't been, no, it's been a while since I've done a video. Had the flu for a little bit and feeling a whole lot better now. I want to talk about what it was like when I was stationed in Korea in the Army. So I was, so I had actually got there. I'd actually just re-signed to go into active duty from the reserve in September of 2005. At that point, me over to they sent me over to Fort Leonard Wood to do the processing thing. So we got to hang out and chill out in an open bay and reception for about 3 weeks, where we got our butts smoked a little bit and did a little bit of processing. And from that point, we moved over to South Korea, which was a relatively fast process. The first thing we did was turned in our leave papers, and we got there about, I think we landed there about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. And we ended up going over there, getting a hotel for the night. And we was at Yongsang for the night. And the next day we did the little process in processing. Then moved out to our duty, or later on we moved out to where our units were going to be. It took us down to, gosh, I can't remember the name of the post we was at, but we were there for a week to process with the brigade, where we was going back and forth to Osan and Camp Humphreys. Then we ended up going to, and then where I thought I was going to go stay there, we ended up in Gwangju and ended up after about a week. And as a cook in the military, you're pretty much working, especially if you're in Korea. You're going to be working like 15-hour days. Just is what it is. Anyways, we went over to Gwangju, and got there about Saturday night. I had to get picked up by the S1, and there was, in the following Monday, we started processing. I met the dining facility manager, met my NCO. Then we moved over, and then we ended up starting work. At the time, I think went about 2.5 months without getting paid over there because they kept losing my paperwork. But when I got the back pay, it was nice. But I spent a lot of time at the dining, so I spent most of the time working in the ration room, basically where I was giving out the food for them to prepare and the ingredients and all that. And that was fun. And then about midway through, we had a airborne E7 come in and turned everything upside down. I mean, he made a lot of positive changes, but he was pretty tough about it. And he pushed pretty hard as far as having a solid thing. Rest in peace, Sergeant Bowman. He's dead now, unfortunately. He died far too young, at the age of 47, of a heart attack, I think. Unfortunate, rest in peace. But he was a great NCO, great leader. Pretty tough, but if you ever needed anything to be made happen, he'd be the one to help you make it happen. But I appreciated him. Looking back, I didn't care for him when I was working with him, but he really exemplified what it is to be a leader in the military. But yeah, we was in Air Defense Artillery, which was an interesting brigade. It's a very small. ADA is a very small community, so pretty much anybody, it's the three places you're guaranteed to be. If you're in Air Defense Artillery, the three places you're guaranteed to ever be stationed at is Fort Bliss. Fort Bliss, Korea, and Germany. Those are the three duty stations you're guaranteed to be at. I mean, I've seen some at Fort Bragg when I got over there. I saw a couple of them over there. But it was really cool. They were really a tight-knit group, and they were a lot of fun to be around. The only thing I had a thing was, like, the brigades had these field exercises, but they didn't actually go out to the field. They would have, you'd have to walk around the compound in full battle rattle. You couldn't leave the post. If you wanted to go for a run, you had to have what they called your flak vest. You had to have that on. So you couldn't, if you wanted to, and you couldn't go to, if you wanted to go to the gym, you had to bring your stuff with you and change in the locker room while you're wearing full gear on post. This is all on post. You could still go to the shopette, you could still go to the food court, but you had to have everything on. This is interesting, but it is what it is with the military. And then occasionally you'd have these recalls that were basically they'd go around knocking on everybody's door some ungodly hour in the morning. Talk about brigade recall, blah, blah, blah. So you had to go up, get on your ACUs or PTs or whichever they told you to put on. And that was the extent of it. Thing about there is being a cook, you're pretty much working 14 hours. I think about 9 months out of the year I was there. We did what they call ADA, which means all day action, not Air Defense Artillery, all day action. But we were working pretty much around the clock. But in my opinion, I think in a lot of ways, if you're working around the right people, they make it fun. And that's a lot of what they did was you made it fun. You know, we all ate together, we all hung out together, and it was a good fun. They took us out. We all went out to dinner a few times and had some good Korean food. It was really a lot of fun there. My biggest regret of going there is not going to the DMZ, the demilitarized zone. I was in Gwangju, which is pretty far south, so it would have been about at least a 6-hour trek to the north where 2nd AD is up there. I forget what the name of the post is up there by the DMZ. But I would have loved to go. I would, if I could go back there and go do that, I would do it in a heartbeat. But at any rate, so anyways, that was, I think, about midway through. I got my orders to go to Fort Campbell, and I tried to get out of it, but didn't get it, is what it is. But we had some good times. I had to call my branch manager to help fix my orders. So there was a lot of issues with getting orders because I didn't get my orders literally until like the day before I started clearing. So, but by the time I left, the whole admin staff had revamped, and they got better, but it was pretty bad for a long time because I had some issues on my and my paperwork that needed to be fixed. I waited till I got to Fort Campbell to do it, and so that was a lot of fun with that. Excuse me, I'm getting notifications, but definitely would do it again if I could. If I was about 10 years younger, I probably would, but I'd definitely go back over there and see some things that I didn't get to see. But anyways, that's about all I have for my time in Korea. Next time I'm going to talk a little bit more probably about what it's like to be a cook in the Army. Go into more detail about that. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, make sure you like, subscribe. Help me get to 1,000. If I do that, I just might talk about the time I got in trouble. Take care.